What's up, YouTube? This is True Raw for TV. As always, I want to remind you guys that if you want to donate to my channel, if you want to show love to my channel, contribute to my channel, you can do so in the links provided in the description box below. Now, I got to come to the defense of my boy Russell a little bit. Just a little bit, man. Okay, look, I get it. It's the end thing to shit on Russell Westbrook. I get it. You know what I'm saying? He looks like the type of dude that, I've said it before in videos, you put a hoodie on him, like the type of dude that'll stick you up at the gas station at 2:30 in the morning. I get it. You like the type of dude that's a friend of yours that's lying about trying to fuck your little sister on the low. That shady dude, you know what I'm saying? I get it. I get it all, you know what I'm saying? I know it's Russell's fault that global warming has gotten worse. All these hurricanes, you know what I'm saying, come from all of that, smoke that he be trying to They come from all of that smoke that he's looking for on the court. I get it. It's contributing to the hole in the ozone layer. I know Russ is responsible for, our just expanding national debt. His contract contributed to that. I get it. Hell, he even has something to do with, the situation in the White House. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Trump, was counting on Russell Westbrook's support in Oklahoma. And I don't know. I know you just want to blame Russ for everything. But this is my thing about LeBron fans, right? Like, LeBron fans will complain about people criticizing LeBron James as if he's a god and you can't say anything critical about him. But never mind the fact that you got ESPN and Live Fox Sports 1 with so many former LeBron cronies on there constantly cheerleading for the guy. Russell doesn't have anything like that. In fact, it's the complete opposite. It's a total 180. Everybody hates Russ, okay? The media, everybody. He's the prototypical bad basketball player. He can't shoot, you know. In the era where it's du jour to shoot from outside, it's no longer an NBA predicated on athleticism, but an NBA predicated on outside shooting and quote-unquote skills, all right? So Russ's game is somewhat antiquated in today's basketball. I get all of that. The turnovers and all of this type shit. I understand it 100%. I've grown to see the flaws in Westbrook as well. But you know who else had flaws in their game? Allen Iverson. People forget that Allen Iverson also at times led the NBA in turnovers per game. He had a terrible field goal percentage, which is actually lower than Russ's. Okay, I get it. He's a little bit smaller than Russ, but there were many seasons where he shot under 40% from the floor. You know what I'm saying? He had the same thing. He was a shot jacker. He couldn't win. Um, you know, you can't win playing with a guy like that. I get it. He was. The only difference is that Allen Iverson was extraordinarily popular, but he had the swag. He was, the guy that everybody rooted for. He was, I think, just under Michael Jordan. He's the second most influential basketball player of the past 40 years. The second most. And I even put him over Kobe when it comes to influential. I'm not saying he's on the same level as Kobe basketball skills wise, but as far as being influential, the baggy shorts, the tattoos, the do-rag, the wearing the headbands, braids, cornrows, the attachments, so far as like the shit you wear, like for basketball players, Allen Iverson is that influential. But at the same time, let's be honest, Allen Iverson never won any damn thing. Now I bring that up because people always talk about, well, Russell Westbrook never got out the first round. He never won the first round since Kevin Durant left. That's true. That's true. But he has been to an NBA Finals. But people conveniently forget that. And people talk about, well, he had been in the first round since Kevin Durant. I'm going to tell you a guy who's never been out the first round in his entire career. And I don't count that last year when he was riding the bench. You know what I'm saying? Buried on the bench. I don't count that year. Tracy McGrady. Tracy McGrady never went out of the first round in his career. But nobody hates on this dude like they do Russell Westbrook. Tracy McGrady never won shit. Never been to an NBA Finals. And he's in the Hall of fucking Fame. Did anybody go around, there's some people think he don't belong in the Hall, but I don't see nearly the hate for Tracy McGrady that I see for this guy. And I don't get it. It's not like this guy's O.J. Simpson. He's not a double murderer. I don't understand the level of hate. I get the criticism. I understand that. But the level of hate this guy gets, I don't understand. Someone explain to me why Russell Westbrook is hated as much as he is, but James Harden is not. Aren't they similar? Volume scoring, shot jacking, high turnover, supposedly selfish players. But James Harden had all these guys trying to mimic his step back and trying to, look, I don't get it. I don't get it, man. You look, like I said, I understand all these things about Russell Westbrook. I understand it 100% as far as his game. I like the guy. You don't think it fucking drives me nuts sometimes seeing some of the shots he takes? He gets too competitive. He gets too mano a mano in that one-on-one matchup, and it takes away from the team. Another guy that was kind of like that to an extent was John Starks. John Starks used to do that sometimes. John Starks, when he had that equilibrium, when he had that balance between, channeling his competitiveness into a positive, wavelength or whatever you want to say it, and he was still playing, within himself. John Starks could be a very effective shooting guard for the New York Knicks. When he got too wrapped up in the competitiveness, when someone got into his head and got him out of the game, like Reggie Miller would sometimes do, then it was a bad thing. But it was because of that John Starks was one of the most beloved New York Knicks of his generation. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I get it. I understand with Westbrook, man. But I think it's just too much sometimes, man. Like, it's just too much. Like, the media doesn't give this guy enough credit at all. Like, no one, okay, as far as the shooting is concerned, it's conveniently forgotten that Russell Westbrook came into the season still rehabilitating from a surgery. Now, we hear about all these other players of yesteryear who are warriors and they've had multiple injuries and surgeries, but no one gives a fuck about Russell Westbrook's, the fact that he was coming off of an injury. He probably didn't really have time to practice on his shooting. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to admit, the year that he won the MVP, he wasn't a great 3-point shooter, but he could knock it down on occasion. And there were some times where he could actually get into a rhythm. The last couple of years, his shot has been faltering, especially last year. Probably because he couldn't really practice because he was recovering from the surgery. Matter of fact, he missed the first 7 games of the season. Then, as far as the free throw percentage, there have been rules that have been stipulated that have they're meant to speed up the game. Russell used to have this free throw routine. We all remember it. And it was a slow, methodical routine, but it worked for him because he shot over 80% from the foul line. But he can't do that routine anymore. And I think that routine has affected his free throw percentage. He dropped from being a dependable 80% foul shooter to down to 72% to down to only 65, 66% this past season. Now, Russell has to figure that out. Okay? It's not an excuse. Russell has to figure out how to get a free throw routine that'll work from him, that'll get him to knock down that shot more consistently. And it could be a little bit psychological for him, too. Okay? But there are some things that piss me off with the media. The media needs to be more forthright in how things have played upon themselves and not just to fit a narrative. Do people forget that Russell Westbrook took a step back offensively last year so Paul George could shine? You know, there was a time when Oklahoma City Thunder were third overall in the Western Conference. Probably wasn't going to last because they're just not a very talented team outside of Paul George, when he was there, and Russell Westbrook. Okay. He took a step back offensively. He was only averaging like 20 points per game. The media, what's wrong with Russell Westbrook? Why he can't shoot anymore? He can't score anymore. They show highlights of him bricking shots, missing, the whole 9 yards, right? Then when Paul George got injured, right, or hurt, well, injured, because he had to have surgery, all right? Russell took it upon himself to be more offensive minded. Russell's a volume scorer. So Russell's going to have nights when he might have a game where he shoots 14 or 29. That's okay. Then he might have a night where he shoots 12 or 31. Not good. Not very good at all. Then the old criticism come back. He shoots too much. You know, I don't know, man. It's with him. It's damn if you do and damn if you don't. And I do think it's still a little bit unfair. I think it's a little bit unfair to expect a guy to win with the competition that's out there now in the NBA when you have guys on a team like the Thunder. Like, like I said, outside of Paul George, matter of fact, the year he won the MVP, the only other guy that was a reliable scorer was Victor Oladipo. That's it. And they still won 47 games. I think if you take Russell Westbrook off that team, they only win maybe 30 games. I've watched the Thunder games. I've watched them. And there are so many times, talking about the year he won the MVP, there's so many times when Russell Westbrook would go on a personal spurt where he would score 12 points, in a run. And the Thunder would be up 9. He goes on the bench. All of a sudden, the Thunder can't score. Now, if you want to blame that on uh, the fact that he's so heavy ISO, other guys can't get into rhythm, that's possible. That's part of it. It's possible. But the fact remains the Thunder couldn't score. The opposition going a 18-3 run. Now all of a sudden they're down. He goes back in. He pushes up to the Thunder up by 2. He goes back out. All of a sudden they get blown out on a 20-1 run. They lose by 17. What's the narrative? Oh, Russell Westbrook had triple double, but they lost. He can't win with them. Like I'm saying, I get it. Russell does a lot of stupid shit out there, but he's not, to me, as bad as the media is making him out to be. In my opinion, excuse me. In my opinion, at least, I don't think he's as bad as the media is making him out to be. It's just my opinion. Okay, but I don't think he's as bad a player as the media is making him out to be. Now, Paul George, him leaving, look, it's a no-brainer with that one. I mean, look, you either can stay here in OKC, all right, and probably lose in the first round. I mean, look at the team. Or you can go to sunny California, your hometown, play with Kawhi Leonard, the best player in the NBA right now, on a squad that took the Golden State Warriors to 6 games, came back from a historic 31-point deficit to win in overtime. And now this team has me, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard. It's no doubt about it. It's a no-brainer, you know. But my thing is, I hope Russ gets traded to a contender. I actually think maybe it could work with the Bucks. You know, if that could work out, I don't think that would work as far as the pieces involved. But then again, I think the Thunder are just trying to get rid of this guy. I think they're just trying to rebuild. So we'll see, man. But tell me what you guys think, man. I know a lot of you guys hate Russell Westbrook, so if you hate him, I get it. Tell me what you guys think.